What's going on? This is Z with Grown Up Gamers, and this is not a gaming video. I wanted to share this bit of information, and I didn't think it applied to my business channel, so I'm bringing it here because I think it does provide some value to some folks out there, perhaps. And I won't make you wait till the end. If you want to see the full video, keep watching. But I will say that in the clash of Divi versus Elementor, in my opinion, Divi beats the shit out of Elementor. Hands down, no contest. In every conceivable way. Now, if that's what you came here for, you have the answer. If you want to know why, we'll dive in a bit deeper. To start this off, I've just recorded the video you're about to watch. I realized it kind of came off as a rant, and that's because it is. I'm super frustrated with Elementor. So if it comes off as a rant, you have perceived that accurately. It doesn't make what I said less true. So I'll walk you through a little bit about what's happened recently. I'll try to keep it brief. Essentially, we needed to build a listing, a classifieds platform. It's not something I have a ton of experience with. There was a platform I used a decade ago called Y-Class, and it worked okay, but it wasn't great. And I checked it out when this project came to pass, and it didn't seem, it still exists, but it didn't seem like it changed any. So, and that was a decade ago, or maybe longer than that. So I started doing some digging, came across Listing Pro, seemed to be highly reviewed, but it only works with Elementor. So I did something that I don't typically do. I hired a developer to develop something that I can't mess with, which is mistake number one. So the fella builds out the platform. I'm watching along the way, trying to get a feel for how Elementor works. Like Divi, for example, and I may actually try to find somebody to do this with, but I'm almost positive if I set my big-ass 55-inch screen and split it down the middle and put a Divi builder on one side and an Elementor builder on the other side and put a perfectly layman person in front of it, they could maneuver around with Divi. There's some things that obviously, you know, some custom features and stuff that we do and whatnot that make it, you know, that improve it, but they could get around. In Elementor, I mean, I started building websites in 2002, coding before WYSIWYG even existed. So I feel like I'm pretty decent. I can't figure out anything in Elementor. There is nothing that makes sense to me. And again, if you've played with Elementor for years and you're sitting there shaking your head going, oh, it's the easiest thing in the world, I'm telling you, that's fantastic for you. It's not the first platform I played with, so I know there are better options. If you dive into building websites and the first thing you ever dive into is Elementor, then you probably think it's the greatest thing there ever was because it's what you cut your teeth on. From my experience, the logic to it is super terrible. And then you get into a point where I have literally today, where we are right this minute, that's prompted me to make this video. I need to change a contact form on the bottom of the site that developer built. So I pull it up and I try to figure out where this is. Unbeknownst to me, we were using the free version of Elementor. Apparently there is a free version that gives you some functionality. Or most functionality, it seems. Actually, I don't know that I gained anything by upgrading. Anyways, I couldn't figure out how to change the footer. So I did what everybody would do. I got on to Elementor customer support, and they basically said, piss off, you're not subscribed. I was like, well, I don't know that I need to upgrade because I don't know what I don't know. And they essentially wouldn't hardly even talk to me without the upgrade. So I went ahead and spent $59 for the upgrade. Not a big deal. And as soon as I did that, I went back and I said, okay, here's my receipt. I paid. Can you help me now? Now there's another process. You got to go install another plugin to the back end and activate it and all this crap. In Divi, for example, you put the activation code into the back end of Divi. Like, it's a 2-second process. Simple as can be. Anyways, I jumped through all these hoops. And then they tell me that I need to reset the server cache on my servers. Cannot make this shit up. Somebody may be going, well, that's normal. Well, that's not normal. I'm sorry. It's just not. That is not I've probably built 200 websites on Divi. More than that. I know it's more than that. And I don't think I've ever reset the server cache. And you got to remember, the goal here is to switch a short form in the foot of our website. So like the most mundane thing possible, and they're wanting to reset the server cache. And I expressed my displeasure in pretty great detail. very unhappy with. My daughter's watching Never Ending Story. I hear it. Let's talk about Divi for just a minute. The Divi builder is rather intuitive. It also has a Gutenberg, which is our old school thing that is familiar to most WordPress people. The functionality is just very, very intuitive. You can get in there and figure out most things. And when you can't figure it out, and this is what's really great with Divi, you hit their support button, you go to your back end, you turn on support, and you toggle the little enable button, and they usually just get in there and do the thing that you want to do for you. Like, if you're having trouble getting a thumbnail, your thumbnails are cropping automatically, and you don't want your thumbnails to crop automatically, and it takes a little bit of CSS code somewhere in a child theme to make that happen. Typically, this is how it usually goes. They will provide you the resources to do it, and then they let you know that we went ahead and did that for you on your behalf. I mean, it's absolutely the best customer support experience I think I've ever had. I mean, not only do they help you and guide you with the solution and the resources to get the solution so you know next time, but they do the thing for you. And, obviously we want to learn how to do things. And like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years. There's still things that I don't know how to do today. There's things that I learn every single day. There are hurdles that I will reach Monday when I start building a new website. I'll come to a hurdle and I'll go, well, damn, I wonder if I can do that. I'll pop up the chat box and go, hey, is this possible within the Divi platform? And they go, well, not really, but you can do this to achieve this. Very, very rarely do they tell me no. And we build 4 to 5 websites a week within my company, and they are 99% Divi. So I use Divi support a lot. It is hands down the best I've ever had. So that's what's good about Divi. So we'll wrap this up with this. If you are in the boat of trying to determine Divi or Elementor, choose Divi. If you already have Elementor and you're familiar with it, then maybe don't change. You know the thing, you know how to use it. I can't say I would go the other way if I can't suggest that. But if you are using Divi and pondering jumping, don't. That decision is full of regrets, I promise. And if you are just getting started from a development standpoint or anything, I would not recommend Elementor. Y'all have a good one.